if I'm James Franklin, there's no possible way you can ever put me on the hot seat. This is something that you tuck in the back of your pants, in your pocket, you put in your wallet, and you play this card when they try to put you on the hot seat, because this is absolutely ridiculous. This has nothing to do with name, image, and likeness. This has nothing to do with the transfer portal. This has nothing to do with a better coach. This has nothing to do with a bigger brand. This has nothing to do with playing time or opportunity that a specific recruit is offered by another university. This is by the university that gives me checks, that pays me lots of money to win football games. You're self-sabotaging my ability to win games. My ability, not no one else. This is the own doing by the university policy that they have in place. Now, obviously, you can go through tradition and say, oh, this is policy that they have, even the paternal days, and you can go on and on without coaches. But this is a different game. This is a different time, and you have to adapt. Penn State clearly had not adapted yet, and it cost, him this recruit. He talked about losing by 1 point. He has to be talking about Ohio State, because I know, Penn State plays Ohio State pretty hard. I remember the comeback, JT Barrett had against Ohio State, or Penn State just, melting down at home, and losing that game. I don't know if they lost by 1 point that year when KJ Hill was kicking his feet. But as James Franklin is judged on wins and losses, he has to beat Ohio State. He has to beat Michigan State, that team up north. He has to beat those three year in and year out. You're hampering my ability to beat those teams because I'm recruiting freshmen. The requirement that the university has is that freshmen, they live in, obviously they have to live in dorms. This is not a city, but they live in dorms, but you have to share your dorm. The freshmen that he was recruiting, their family wanted him to have their own dorm room. I don't understand why Pennsylvania State University cannot accommodate to that. Now, I graduated from Ohio State. Freshmen and sophomores, you have to live on campus. Now, I don't know about the specific policy I'm not a student athlete, so I don't know if, freshmen have to live in single or double dorms. But James Franklin talked about all the other universities that were recruiting the student athlete, promised him and the family that he can have his own single dorm. Penn State is saying, no, you can't have that. That's absolutely ridiculous. This has nothing to do about money. The bigger bag is, some people would say, living in a single dorm versus living with somebody else, you can't accommodate him? Are you serious? That's absolutely ridiculous. And he turned out to be, James Franklin said he turned out to be, he's a really good football player. He wouldn't say the name or where he went to play football, but he said that player could have been a difference maker between them losing by 1 point. Meaning that player could have been a difference maker of losing to Ohio State, or making a play that can turn the tide of the success that they have in the season. That's absolutely ridiculous. One of the wildest things I've ever heard, because it has nothing to do with money, name, brand, none of that. This is owned by Penn State's own policy. There's no way you could ever fire me under those circumstances. That is absolutely ridiculous.